is going on, everyone? Probably
What's up?
thinking, for those who are watching on the Dark Horse Tackle, probably thinking, who's the ugly guy with the
hijacked our
salt and
live
pepper
stream.
beard? So we got a collab live show today with the Bass Kayak and Beers and the boys at Dark Horse Tackle. What's up, dude?
Yeah. Not much, man. How
Hello.
you doing?
Happy Thursday.
I would like to point out, if anybody read the description, it's actually not true.
What's not true?
There is fluff.
There is fluff.
There is fluff. You
What are
said
you
no
talking
fluff.
about?
You said there's no
I think
fluff.
I think that was a rundown just for us. I don't know if
Oh, the description of the show.
Yeah. Yes.
I just write it and then I ask AI to put it nicer. So
it was
Well,
definitely AI.
I didn't-
I could tell.
I was like, hey, this is what we're gonna be talking about. Write it so I look smart.
I went
Yes.
I went
And
to
then
the
that's the thing.
I went to the store and bought marshmallow fluff that I'm never gonna eat just
That's what what does it say, the show description? Now I'm curious.
It's jet puffed.
No, he's talking about his description. It says a no fluff whatever on winter baits for bass fishing.
No
That's
fluff,
what it says. I would have never used the word fluff. So that's AI for you guys.
Well, you made me
Mine
buy
was-
marshmallow fluff.
Mine was like, hey, I'm sitting down with Zach and Josh from Dark Horse Tackle, and we're gonna be talking about cold weather baits, when to throw them, what to throw them, what techniques work great, blah blah blah. Right,
Super
That's it.
misunderstood. Super misunderstood winter baits. Industry driven cloud of mystery to make you buy stuff.
By the way, we got a cold front, and as you know, my podcast, for those that are tuning in from Dark Horse Tackle and not familiar with my podcast, it's Bass Kayak and Beers.
Let's hear about your cold
Hold on.
front.
This is our official come from beer, Guinness. I only drink stout beer on winter, and it's about to get wintry.
Yeah,
Standard.
Tell me about your cold front, buddy. What?
I know you guys from Ohio. What am I talking about?
What's it like being in 50-degree weather, man?
Well, it's gonna be in the teens.
It's gonna get gross here in like the next 24 hours. It's gonna get
we got negatives. We got negative temps. We're going into the negatives coming up.
You know what's funny? I was gonna go. I wanted to go. I haven't gone since COVID, pandemic, whatever we went through. To go snowboarding in Colorado, and I couldn't go this year, but my friends went back. They showed me pictures like up in Breckenridge and Vail. There's like no snow, like it's only artificial snow. It says
Really,
it's a mess over there, and it's like
it's dry. It's really dry out there.
I know, it's crazy.
That's the only reason why I'm not upset about how much precipitation we've gotten this winter, because it is really going to help the water table out.
Yeah,
because we had a dry. Yeah, last summer was dry. It was dry.
We've had a dry year so far.
Isn't that's one of those La Nina El Nino deals? Like it one of them is known for creating droughts.
That
think
would
it's
be
El Nino.
I thought that was law.
I think it is.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. The feminine.
No idea.
Yeah, I thought it was Nina.
El Nino switching to neutral. Somebody South Detroit fishing.
But yeah, it's gonna be it's going down all like the next 24 hours. It's gonna drop from like 30 to like 1. What scares me the most is our pressure right now is at like 29.8. It's gonna go all the way up to 30.7. Dude, that's gonna kill me.
Well, yeah, I mean, you guys have ice on your legs right now or no?
Yeah, 100%.
Wolf of Walmart is in the chat.
What's up, Wolf? What I wonder about though is if I don't know if it's like this for everybody, but at least here in Pittsburgh, if it gets really, really cold, like down into the teens and the negatives and the zeros, snow doesn't happen very often. Snow happens in like the 20s.
Yep.
And low 30s.
Yep.
So I'm curious.
Are you
about
skeptical?
all this.
Are you skeptical too? I am too.
I'm skeptical about all this snowmageddon that's supposed to come.
I've never had somebody tell me it's going to snow 8 to 12 inches when it's also going to be 0 degrees.
It just doesn't work.
Prove
like
it. It's too cold.
It doesn't, though. It really doesn't. When it's that cold, it doesn't snow.
Bag in the freezer, like you can't breathe. Everything hurts on top of you. It sucks.
I think it also depends on where you live. Like when I go snowboarding in Colorado, like up in the mountains, and then it's cold, but it's like, I don't know, it's a lot drier up there. So you do get some snow in the.
Brother, you're gonna have to mute that thing when you're typing, man. Jeez, Pete.
It's funny. That's the quiet model.
He's got hammer toes for fingers, man. He's like, bah, 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 bah.
I'm like
jackhammer.
this. I'm like this.
Cheapskate, Armando. Cheapskate.
Oh, cheapskate, right?
Yeah, we don't do the jackhammer here.
All right. So talking about that, before we get started on the subject that we're going to be talking about, cold weather baits, techniques, and all that, I did want to mention something. And for those that are, again, we're doing a collab, so some of you may be from Dark Horse Tackle, not familiar with my show. I am not partnered with Dark Horse Tackle. They fired me because Josh hates me.
That is not. Nope, I don't make business decisions like that.
But I do have the subscription from even last year, and I was telling you guys, and I'm gonna tell you for your audience not be familiar. I'm not doing this again because I am not partnered with you guys, but the baits that I found on your monthly subscription box, and you're gonna tell me the names because I forget. That chatterbait that we got on my monthly subscription, on what do you call it? On the box that has my name on it, September?
Yeah, you were on the brochure.
Yeah, I actually have an extra box that I'm gonna give to a buddy of mine. But okay, so this chatterbait, what was it? The Deeks?
Deeks and Dixon.
Dude, I've been catching so much bass on that bait, and I'm not saying it other than because it's true. And it's a fraction of a price of a jackhammer. And if for those that follow my channel, they know how much I love the jackhammer and how I put it like up there as the best bait ever. That chatterbait not chatterbait, that's trademark. That bladed jig from that September box is awesome.
I'll tell you what, in regards to trademarks, that's about the only thing that is trademarked because we just put in the cheapskate. For the January pack. Those of you who are not familiar with the pack,
boy, you missed out.
We still got a couple, but January pack was a fully loaded bladed jig kit. It came with trailers and it came with the cheapskate from Deeks. And the cheapskate is just it is a hand-tied direct connect model, 3D head. The weight.
It looks like a jackhammer head.
Yep. Sure does, doesn't it? Sure does. Really makes you think. It's also got the double,
crazy things happen.
It's got the double keeper on it too, just like the Japanese version has. And they're under $7.
Gotta love it when no patents though.
Yeah, your jackhammers are running anywhere from $18.99 to over $20. Just consider
that's why they got the Evo now, and even that is at $9.
But it's $6.59, brother. $6.59. Can't beat it.
So that bait, the Defiant, I think it's buzz bait.
Mm-hmm.
I need to make a little video about that because that buzz bait is awesome. The fact that people get scared because it weighs a lot for a buzz bait, but the fact that it's designed to kind of like a flattened head with a little flap so it makes it rise, I can slow roll it and it'll still stay at the top of the water column. That one and the Ozark rig from Core Tackle, those are my three favorite baits I've gotten from last year's Dark Horse Tackle box. And man, they're awesome. I'm so glad I got them because I discovered new baits. And for those that follow my YouTube channel, you all know OHIV, I got saved from a skunk because of the Ozark rig.
So
trickworm.
It's interesting that you brought us on to talk about winter baits.
Well, you guys are from up there, so
right now, they're it doesn't matter. We can't. So I have not had a chance to go down and fish where there's always fishing all year long.
Yep.
So my question to you is, what are you using, Armando? Right now, you go out to a lake.
I have a
Water's
feeling
what?
it's very similar to what we do.
I bet it is. Your water's like what? Like 45, 40?
Jigs with a soft plastic craw, and I like to dip the little like tentacles, the craw
Yeah, he does. Doesn't he, Zach?
on red ink. That makes a huge difference.
Oh, red.
Yeah.
It's better than chartreuse.
Yes, especially in winter.
Shut up.
Red belly. Well, you know my philosophy on crankbaits. Red
Mm-hmm.
belly, but on this time, like lipless crankbaits and crankbaits that are red, like ruby red, I like. And you know, slow down the presentation with either a net rig or a weightless Senko.
Cool.
So, like, what is your water temperature? Just curious. Usually,
man.
normally.
Right now it's about to get a lot colder, but before, I always say Texas winter is before February and February, right? Like February is when weather really drops down here in Texas. So, you know, right now they're in the low 50s, depending the lake, obviously. The water. We're talking about the water or the weather temperature.
The water temps.
Low 50s, but they're about to get into the low 40s.
Oh no!
So
I know it's relative.
I fish like when the water's wet. There's a good chance it's above 32 degrees, right? Because then it'd be frozen. But when I'm fishing in the winter time, I am really honed in on two types. Why am I doing two like this?
I don't know.
German?
Two types of reactions. Is it a reaction out of reaction, right? Your stereotypical jerkbait, your bladed jig, or a out of hunger. So I'm doing two things. I am really covering some water with a reaction style bait, or I am throwing something that is very similar to forage. However you decipher that.
Once you've found them.
Well, a lot of times in the winter, dude, you know how it is. Like, you've been with me. Like, I fire something I'm confident with always. So that's going to be a bladed jig, a spinner bait, or a swim bait, paddle tail swim bait on a jig head. That's it. Like
paddle tail. I mean, if like I hear it on a billion different podcasts. I hear it on a billion different
it absolutely
shows
is, Dave.
or whatever. They're like,
correct.
if you only had one bait,
yeah, paddle tail.
Probably would be it.
So,
or a jig.
I agree with what Dave says here. I think winter baits is a sales tactic because I just had this conversation with Zach. There's a good chance 90% of what you're using in the fall will catch a fish in the winter. A jig.
The stuff you use in the dead heat of summer.
That too. Minus your top water, you know.
Minus your top water.
Like top water is one of those things, man. It's a niche.
However, believe it or not, fish get hungry, and when they're biting,
they get active.
It's on. And if they're shallow, it may not be the best, but you can definitely catch them on top water.
But
100%. In fact, I've heard many stories and had the experiences myself where a buzzbait or a top water, when the water is 45 degrees, absolutely crushes them. You can have banner days.
That's because when let's take your flooded creek system, mountainous reservoir, right? You've got those deep valleys, you've got those flooded hills. There's always going to be shallow water.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of your shallow water just straight drops. Like the lake we stayed at in Bowling Green, Kentucky, there was a 2 to 6 foot shelf and then it just
and then it went to the
black.
Marianas Trench.
It went black. That in the wintertime, you can get away with the walking. You know, there was bait in that 2 to 4 to 6 foot section of water. And I got a cool glimpse of it on, I don't know, a Sunday morning where they were getting crushed. And I'm like, oh, that's really cool. I bet they do that in the wintertime.
We need to pause here for a little sales break. Armando, if you would be so kind as to highlight Bass Thumb AI's last comment.
Well, hold up. I gotta mention something before that, and I apologize. My kayak fishing asks, "What ever try a grass piece?" And I had to Google it because I had no idea what that is.
No, sir.
$20 bait, and it looks like the old school. What was it? The Guggen bait.
It does look like the clickbait.
Oh my god, I hate it. That's the stupidest bait I've ever seen.
I got a lot of love for JDM stuff.
I've heard a lot of good stuff about the grass piece. I've never tried it.
I'm not going to buy it.
Holy
I'm not gonna buy it
for it.
I have a feeling that the action on the bait. Let's take a traditional. Let's take a traditional bladed jig, right? This is what you're looking at. Downwind. You're looking at a rock here. I imagine on a blade, it's the similar action, but it's more of a skirt. It's less of the vibration is felt versus being felt and displayed simultaneously. Does that make sense? It's not rocking all over the water. I bet it's more stable, like a spinnerbait would be.
Less hunting.
You can't get spinnerbaits to hunt. You can't get spinnerbaits to kick out, but you can with a direct.
Somebody did, and then they called it a chatterbait.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, anyways, back to our sales break.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I need you to display Bass Thumb AI's comment.
Bass Thumb's AI. God, now where is it at?
It's like the fourth one up from the last.
1, 2, 3. Bass Thumbs.
Fifth now. There you go.
Can't wait to try the Wee Whacker as a wake bait.
Okay, I don't care about the wake bait part. He said Wee Whacker.
Yep.
And we just got in my favorite trailer for the Wee Whacker. This is brand new to the site. It's called a Tactoad by Tactical Fishing. This is the Dark Horse.
About winter baits.
This is I told you the subject changed. This is the Dark Horse color, green pumpkin purple. It's our exclusive color. We do have 5 colors total. And I've got a bunch of them here, guys. Listen, get them. If you like Wee Whacker fishing, this is hands down my most, and I'm super picky about the trailers. This is hands down my most favorite trailer ever. Okay, now I would like to return you to our regular scheduled program about winter bass fishing.
I was about to say that.
Go ahead. One thing I've really been getting into, similar to what Zach said, the baits in the heat of summer. Your hover rigs. It's a great summertime bait, but the hover rig is also a great wintertime bait because you can control the drop. In where we're at versus like where you're at, they stage differently. You just have to fish a little different. It's very similar, just a little different. Controlling your bait and where it's at is very important in all fishing. And when you're down to that 30 seconds of a weight, when you're that precise, taking something like this Interceptor FFS wrecking ball minnow.
Oh, I see that one. I got that one.
The Deception FFS, and listen, I know it has FFS in the name. Scary, huh? It's just 4.5 inches compared to his 3.5, and he's also got a Deception minnow that is 5.5.
It's an amazing trailer for a lot of things.
And it's an amazing trailer for a lot of things, but standalone on a hover rig, this bait, it's just natural, man. It just looks like something that is coming to the end of its life, and that generates that hunger reaction, right?
This conversation is also vice versa, right? It was something that Ryan pointed out in a video he did today. Ryan Parker, who should be back with us next week.
Free Ryan.
But anyways, he was talking about the blade baits that we just put out in the January boxes. He said, "Do not overlook these in the heat of summer."
No, it's a year-round thing.
So, do you see how
it transcends? Yeah, it's omniscient.
Because you've got the thing that is the same with bass in the heat and bass in the extreme heat and bass in the extreme cold is they tend to
regulate body temperature,
but they tend to group up.
Yeah.
Well,
so you get a lot of them in the same spot, and they're using depth and everything to regulate their body temperature. Correct.
So a lot of it comes down to oxygenated water. Losing, going to the
extremes.
Place, the bass are going to be where the most oxygenated, healthy water is, especially in the dead heat and the dead cold. In between all of that, you've got to think, regardless of oxygenation, what do you have? You have pods of bait that have either grown to that yearly fingerling size, such as the fall, or in the spring, you've got them coming after everything that you're trying to create, which is life. And that is the whole purpose of animals. Humans get the choice.
Wow, man.
Animals only create and eat. That is their duty. Their duty is to protect, eat, and create. That's all they know.
And poop.
I don't know if they know that, though. Because,
no, they don't. No, because they'll just be walking along. There's no,
bass no. They're like, I can't wait to get caught and just poop all over this dude's boat.
All over this glitter boat.
I've never had that happen.
Really?
No?
Never. Not once.
Lucky you.
Man, that's a good way to tell yourself you need to put on a jig.
Now listen, the pee part, I don't know. Because you pull them out of the water, there's water coming off of them. I don't really know.
Sometimes you don't know what that is coming out of there.
But no, I've never actually seen the poop. I was fishing with Ryan Parker on the river, and every 5 seconds, he would catch a fish, and we were both catching them like crazy. And he was like, "Oh, it just pooped all over me." And I'm like, "What are you doing to these guys?" Because it never happened to me. I even looked. I looked at the bottom of my boat. No poop.
So another. See, don't worry, Zach. I got the sales pitch tonight, buddy. I got an open box right next to me.
Thank God, buddy. Let's go.
So
I've got all the baits.
When it comes down to natural, we're talking natural, right? We've got a slide shad from Crockett.
Oh, buddy.
And this is a silly looking bait, right? It looks like a paper airplane. But look, it
looks gimmicky, but I know it's not.
It's not, because obviously when you're fishing in water, humans have a really artistic mindset. Outside of water, this can look like whatever it is, but outside of water, this bait is not doing its design purpose.
No, that is function over what it looks like.
It is 100% function. This causes this bait to just go.
That just to touch on that, it's funny, but it's true, and it sounds cliche, but baits are made to catch fishermen, not fish. That's kind of the old saying.
Yeah.
Like, to us, it's like, oh, that looks juicy. How does it look like to a bass? Because it might look beautiful to you.
I know everybody's
like,
probably heard me say this before, but listen, if the bait doesn't catch a fisherman, it's never going to catch a fish.
And that is also true. It's also very true. Size in winter fishing. Size is huge.
Matters.
Size matters in winter fishing and the dead of heat. So right, and that's what we're after. We're after women bass, right? Grown adult.
That's
bass,
right.
Grown ones. So size has a spectrum. Size has a spectrum. There's two ways to garner a bass's attention when they don't want to move. And the two ways that I garner a bass's attention is a lot of times when Zach and I go out and I go out by myself, I've got the farthest of each spectrum in my tackle box. One is a swim bait under 3 inches.
Little guy.
The other is a glide bait.
Bigger.
Now, the glide bait is going to get attention all the time. That's what it does. That's what if the bass aren't eating it, they're at least looking at it, following it, showing you where they are, showing you themselves. You've seen the videos a million times. Guys are firing glide baits at docks, and they're 4 feet off the dock, and here it comes. You see a shadow.
Steve Kennedy, man.
Exactly. There was a Bassmaster Elite Series tournament in I think that was Clear Lake. It was definitely in California.
I don't know.
But Steve Kennedy made his name. He made a name for himself that day because he was throwing these big old swim baits, and everybody was making fun of him and scared of him. And that guy really put big baits on the map very early into the game. What there's getting to,
Hey, you better see us Thursday. I don't want to hear nothing about I got snowed, nothing else. Listen, I got 4-wheel. I'll come get you, bub.
Yeah, we'll come pick you up, Nick.
So that's always interesting because I always think you always hear like there's so much information out there. Like it depends who you talk to, and then it seems like people go like the opposite ways, which goes to show you that there is no like cookie cutter like, this is the only way to catch him. If you're not throwing this, it's not going to work. Like the school of thought is they're slow, they're lethargic. You got to throw something big and slow roll it on the bottom because otherwise
you're not going to,
which makes sense. They're like, I'm not going to waste energy on a little minnow. So give me something that's worth my while.
Exactly.
Then you have the people that say throw something smaller because they're getting into those bait fish that hatch in spring and are getting bigger, but not as big as.
But I have an explanation.
It all depends on which one we're trying to sell at the moment.
No, I have an explanation. I have an explanation to the polarization here.
Please.
So very small or very big. Think about it. How much energy does a bass have to risk to get a 5-inch Cinco? Probably the same amount of energy that it takes to eat a glide bait.
Mm-hmm.
The glide bait will always outweigh the Cinco, especially in the wintertime, because he's like, God, am I tired? But this 8-inch son of a bitch is just dying in front of me. I've got to figure it out. I've got to eat it. A 3-inch minnow? That ain't nothing but a snack, buddy. Especially if it's going slow. That's a quick suck and out the door. Yep, done.
Even though they don't have tongues.
But see, this is why I don't throw jigs a lot in the wintertime.
Really?
Because jigs have a very big profile, and a lot of times they're difficult to track. So when I am throwing a jig in the wintertime, I've got to be locked in on fish. I've got to know they're there because I'll fish it very similar to the way drop shot is fished in the summertime, like in Lake Erie, where you just drop it down and you just sit there and hop it. If you sit there and hop that jig in place and there's fish around, they'll come up to it. But if you're blind casting with a jig in the winter, you'd be better off with a 3-inch paddle tail.
Well, I would say this: jigs on winter have a very specific place where you have to
for sure.
And color plays a big part. Like to me, winter, cold weather, especially when we talk about late winter, we're almost getting into early spring. Crawfish are starting to come out of hibernation. They really have that red color in them. Like red colors were great, but you have to know where
when the bass are wearing the lipstick.
Exactly.
Yes.
So you have to know where to throw it. To me, I feel like, all right, it's cold. They're looking to get warm. Where are the places where they're going to get warm? Unless you have moving current or something like that, or an inlet, or some water coming in from a dam or a spillway that's bringing in, warm water. That's different, right? Those are specific man-made, artificial kind of like inlets of warm water. But aside from that, I think you look for wood, timber. You look for boat ramps. At the end of the boat ramp where you still have that cement, you look for rock piles that are shallow, especially white rock, because that's where the warm water is going to be. Like I've seen, and I've actually experienced that on cold weather, dude. That boat ramp where you just launched off from,
stacked,
throw it in there, and you have to move it just leave it there. Just throw it in there. Make sure you get it in in the hard bottom like cement, and just leave it there for maybe over a minute. You will get a bite.
What about okay, so I just got done watching the last MLF tournament and I heard the same thing over and over and over and over again. Green grass. So living, thriving grass in January on Gunnersville.
Yeah.
They were crushing them.
Do you know why
lipless.
they're on green
Crushing
grass?
them. Oxygen.
Exactly. It's alive. It's producing. It's
all right. I have to intersect right there because I had Steve Barton, who is from Texas. He is
I know. I'm very familiar with Steve.
So
Barton.
Steve was on my podcast at the beginning of last year, and we talked about cold water, among other things. And I told him my experience on cattle, where I was fishing not just cattle, also on another lake that I can't mention the name because I was sworn to secrecy. But my best day out,
Texas
I caught
moment.
30 bass. It was like dying grass, dying lily pads, and up until that point, I've always thought what you guys have always said. It's
not
like,
oxygen.
It has to be green grass, and it did. It wasn't green grass.
Let me ask you this.
And that lake. Hold up. And I asked Steve Barton, why is it? Like, why am I getting wrong? It says, as long as it's naturally dying grass due to the season, like it's getting cold, it doesn't bother the fish. It's like when the grass is being killed off because they need to regulate it. When there is in some type of artificial or something man-made disaster that's causing the grass to die, that is not normal, then that's where the bass are not going to be there. But if we're talking about dying grass on winter, the bass are still going to be there because it's a
covered
natural ecosystem and it's not depleted of oxygen. That's the way he explained it to me.
Interesting.
So,
very, very interesting.
I've also caught a lot of fish on dead grass.
Yeah.
And let me ask you.
But why was the green grass so important on Gunnersville a week ago?
Not that you can't catch it on green grass.
Listen, no. I got it.
No, but it was important.
But I got it. I got the answer. Let me ask you this, Armando. On Cotto, was there green grass at the time?
Yes.
It growing, but was it growing or was it dying off? Do you know?
It was still green. So one side of the
it didn't die.
The boat lane.
So it didn't necessarily die.
No. So one side of the boat lane had green grass, and one side had dying grass. And it was November. It was cold. Weather temperatures in the 30s when I was launching. I caught big bass on the green side, but I caught more bass on the dying grass, just not as big.
So my theory is on your particular situation. Big Bass took the territory. Big Bass had dibs on the good stuff, right? The dying grass was still cover, though. There's probably bait fish in that cover. So what happens, and the reason why I think this is happening the way it's happening is I fish, dude, like I said, I live in Ohio. The grass does die. The grass dies straight up.
Yep.
Where there is no living grass and there is no other structure. Yeah. Bass will pile up on dead leaves. They'll stick their stomachs on dead leaves because that dead leaf has a 1 degree temperature difference.
That's true.
Than the rest of the water. So that's something I take into account up here.
Yeah, but stay away from the dead leaves on the shore because there's ticks. That's where ticks live.
Oh, yes, the ticks. Well, I did see ticks as early as March last year, so that was pretty I did not like that.
Speaking of government conspiracies, let's move on.
Yeah, buddy. So they were created in a lab, Armando. Right? No other explanation for it.
Oh, man.
Where there is green grass, the bigger bass will go because the bigger bass are going to get the pick of the litter on their structure, knowing where they can be, where the fish are. They're going to big dog that stuff. That's why those big bass were caught in Gunnersville. There's probably dead grass in Gunnersville.
Gas, grass, or bass.
That's right. They didn't want gas because that'll kill fish.
Yeah, don't put that in there.
They don't like two-stroke. Or
green grass and high tides forever. Okay, Michael Bradley. This isn't jigs and bigs.
Yeah. This is bass kayaks and beers.
Oh man.
No, I just I like, it was what, 2 years ago, Josh and I were fishing and we were running paddle tails with like 8-ounce heads on them.
Yep.
Literally so fast that they were basically
Yeah.
top water lures
In
December
2 inches of water.
while it was snowing, and just hammering them.
We couldn't go wrong that day though, dude. Like the only reason we actually only threw paddle tails is because the reaction strike was so vicious.
It was, well, and that's the point I'm getting at. Don't think you have to let a jerkbait sit for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Now, if it's that kind of day and
It's
they're
that
really
kind of
that put off, then you might have to do that.
That'll happen.
But don't just because it's wintertime and cold, don't relegate yourself to that
But
kind of technique, to that style.
in agreeance of you to argue the book, there's been days in May, in June, in April where I have had the jerkbait sit for 30 seconds, and that's 60, 70 degree water. There are days where they just slow down on the reaction. So every time, look, Zach and I, we a lot of times now when we fish, it is the time to go fishing. So we're just going to be throwing top waters because we like that. but when it's time to lock in and just catch a fish, the one thing I've always done, it doesn't matter the bait, it doesn't matter spinning gear, BFS, bait casting, swim bait gear, whatever. Throw the bait that they're hitting the hardest on. And if you're not getting hit hard, throw the bait that they're hitting. So if you have to sit there with a jerkbait for 30 seconds, but you can pick fish apart with a jig, go pick fish apart with a jig.
Listen, I've definitely done damage dragging a jig in the winter. 100%. Like,
oh yeah,
when the guides are icing up. When the guides are icing up. Hey, by the way, this is a hot tip for you guys that are fishing where your guides are icing up. Especially if you got money on the line. Watch that line.
Braid.
Ice cuts.
Braid.
Just saying, ice cuts. So watch your line fishing in the wintertime.
The eyelets too of your rod, they're gonna get full of ice and they're like crystal.
It can cut your stuff. So be careful about that.
I think going back to the jerkbait, I think it works the same way as a jig in the sense that as far as where you throw it, like the good thing about winter is hard to catch them, but they're easier to find.
Yep.
They're just peakier, but they're easier to find. They're gonna where they're going. They're gonna be on standing timber. They're gonna be on rock beds. They're gonna be on boat ramp where where you got that cement, that hard surface. That's where they're gonna be.
If I may,
all you have to be is patient, and like you said, like on a jerkbait, it's like twitch, and just let it sit. As long as you are in the areas where they're gonna be. You just have to be patient. They'll hit it.
Another jerkbait tip.
I've got one. And when you're done,
jerkbaits do not always have to be twitch. Sweeping a jerkbait or a crankbait and pausing it. I love to take a crankbait rather a jerkbait because of its smaller profile. Watch that camera follow his face. That was awesome. Right? That was a freaking Guinness commercial, dude. But you're looking at it. You made it shy. So sweeping a crankbait or sweeping a jerkbait and getting it to do and then just stop. Especially when your crankbait's hitting bottom. Getting it and then stop and kind of back off just a second. That will generate an incredibly hard strike most times. Like when they're eating it, they're going to knock the crap out of it.
So
my bad. You were going to say, go ahead.
We're gonna move away from a hard jerkbait and we're going to move to a soft jerkbait.
Perfect.
And I would like to point this out. And listen, if you do not smoke cigarettes, then replace this with texting or looking at Instagram or
whatever you wimpy Gen Z
or whatever. But literally in the wintertime, one of my one technique that usually always works for me is to cast a soft jerk bait out, work it a little bit, put the rod between my legs, and smoke a cigarette. and then light the cigarette, take a puff or two, and then pick the rod back up, and then there's a bass on it.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how long you gotta let them sit sometimes.
I've gotten some of the best bites I've gotten is just casting a jig or some type of bait out there, and then I get a call or a text from my wife that I need to answer because she needs to have an immediate answer to a question, and I'm like, all right, let me reply, blah 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 blah, and sure enough, I get a bite. Like I can't tell you the amount of times that has happened. It's like I need to start learning that. Like be more patient. Like it's by accident, not by choice, but it does work, especially on winter or summer too.
That's a hot summer deal as well.
Yes. Yeah. So when it comes down to what we were talking about earlier, catching the fisherman, how it looks outside of the water, you don't constantly have to move your bait. You can constantly give your bait action, such as a jig on the bottom, and you're just doing that. You're just shaking it in place. But when you're shaking it, you guys know what I'm talking about, and that line gets too limp, it's a good time to pause. Just slowly reel it, tighten that line up again, and then go back. Just go back, keeping it there. I got like one more bait.
Do it. What do you got?
And that is wood crankbaits.
Balsa, baby.
Wood, yep. Balsa, cedar. I am going to exclusively talk about Black Label because that is what we sell.
Because that's our boy, Cliff
This
Pace.
is the Fat Flat. This
2013 Bassmaster Classic
representation
champion
of the color. But
dude, that's such a hot color though. It's classic. It's literally called classic.
But
yeah, put your hand over it.
Yeah,
it's a lot better.
Here,
yes. Oh yeah, it looks amazing.
So, let's see. So, no, doesn't do anything. Okay, either way. So,
Armando, what country do you originally hail from?
Well, God, what do we have to get social political here? I'm from Puerto Rico, which is
Puerto Rico,
which is actually the United States.
That was a Puerto Rican judge, buddy. I saw it in his face. He just Puerto Rican judged the crap out of you. Putting your hand in front of the bait.
As much as we would like to say it is, it's U.S. territory. So I'm a U.S. citizen, by the way.
Nobody cares, bro.
I was just saying, because
Yeah, Zach. Oh, jeez.
Oh, now it's quiet.
We're going back to crankbaits as quickly as possible.
Matt Bunny for the halftime show, boys.
As quickly as possible. So the reason why I like to throw wood is I don't know if you guys can hear that.
Yeah, you hear the hooks and the split rings.
That's
the end.
That's it. Baits hitting plastic is loud.
Which, by the way, is still noise. It is still noise.
It's still noise, but it's hushed. When this bait runs into stuff, it is hushed. When this bait hits things, there's a different action. There's a completely different, more subtle, more natural action to this bait, only in regards to noise. Now, listen, when we talk about wiggle,
no. It's not just in regards to noise.
I will say this without ever throwing the balsa before. One knockers are my favorite crankbait.
I love a one knocker
for winter. I don't know why one knockers are better than multi-bead.
I think it's less stimulating. I think that there is a finesse to that one knocker, even though they portray that one knocker as like the power fishing mega.
And even on spooks though, like the spooks one knockers, dude, a lot better than the I love a good one knocker
rather than
color selection on a sunny day. On a sunny day in some dirty water, this is what this bait's going to look like in the water. This is a
Josh actually set his light up to do exactly that, just for that portrayal.
Part of the plan. But your fluorescents do that as well. Your bright reds, your real bright reds. And the nice thing about red in the wintertime is you can't really go wrong with a red. red has a tendency to look like green pumpkin. It is a dark color. It has a tendency to, you've either got those red browns or you've got those orange reds. Where
let me ask you this. I never understood why even bother making any 5 foot or more deep crank bait.
It's fun.
Red, because I think it's at 5 foot or 8 foot, red completely is lost and becomes green.
So I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why they even make red crankbaits.
I get it on a wake bait or a shallow or a square bill, but I've never understood why anything 10 feet or more, maybe probably 5 feet or more, needs to be red.
Red used to not be that much of a thing. And then a guy won a very big tournament and a very big check on Sam Rayburn Lake. And that is where your Rayburn red comes from.
I'm curious. I want to know.
How deep was it? Like what was it, like a square bill?
Or? I think it was a square bill, and
it was a chatterbait.
I'm talking 20 years ago.
Way before that, really?
Way before that. Yeah. I'm not talking the craze of fire crawl. I'm talking red.
I'm just curious if you used a black one, if it would do the same thing.
I actually prefer deep crabbing crates to be either green like chartreuse or black. Those are my 2 colors for deep. I don't. Or is it because crankbait that much?
Or is it because the color disappears?
Exactly. That's exactly my point.
If you talk
red disappears around 8 feet deep.
Well, is that the reason why? Do you understand? Because the color disappears.
Well,
that's a thing, because if you talk to a lot of guys, and I've experienced it myself, if you want to catch fish in a creek, pick a bait that matches what the color of the bottom of the creek looks like.
Right.
That's a real thing.
A great point. They said red seems to be more of a west or southern color thing. That is very true.
And I'll tell you this: the pros, the guys with Booyah on their jersey, the guys with Rattle Trap on their jersey, or formerly Excalibur baits, because I believe that was the lipless crank,
formerly known as.
So they say to match the hatch, right? Because there's one day a year where some of the crawdads might turn red, similar to a blue craw.
Yeah, it's blue funny. They're coming out of hibernation.
A blue craw is a great color because blue craw is a very natural color. Red, not so much. There's red on some animals, sure. There's red on some forage, right? Where I think of red, I think of like a black and red. I think of red as an accessory color, not the full deal. Where it comes to red disappearing, I think that comes down to an actual like transparency level. So like fishing line, right? Because when the light goes through that line, it may disappear. Whereas if you're throwing an opaque white base coat bait, it's not inherently going to disappear. It's absolutely going to change color though. 100%. And that might be the gig, right? That might be an old school technique of fooling the fisherman instead of catching the fisherman. What the hell's that guy throwing all that red for? Well, because that guy knows that at about 10 feet, that bait looks like green pumpkin, or that bait looks like brown. And he's catching a bunch of fish at 10 to 12 feet. So he's going to be throwing that red. I think that's what it came down to. But I do know that a fluorescent red will show up similar to a fluorescent orange, almost like a white. It has the same presentation as a white or a chartreuse, which in that muddy, cold water, that's going to generate a strike because they can see it. That's it. They can see it. They don't know what it is, so they go after it.
That's a good point. I mean, I agree with that. I didn't know the answer to that question. That's why I asked, but sure. It makes sense. Like I figured it's like, well, why even bother if the color red disappears? But if that's the case, then I think then it falls on the angler to understand why you're buying a red crankbait that goes 15 feet deep.
I know there's a guy out there because he's my dad, who also says things like, "Why throw this? Why throw that?" My dad is a guy that goes, why are you throwing black and blue when you can be throwing black and red? And it comes down to personal preference. It's my dad likes black and red because my dad's been throwing black and red for 40 years. Like, that's it. And I think it's funny because black neon or black and red is such a difficult color to find in comparison to your black and blues.
It is. It didn't used to be. It didn't.
I
used to
love
be.
black and red. I personally think
black neon used to be a real hot thing. I used to throw a black neon coffee tube a lot.
Right. And to Feather Outdoors' point, red is definitely more of a not in Michigan thing because Michigan doesn't know what dirty water is. Michigan might be the cleanest state I've ever seen in my life. Like,
their water is crazy.
Like when you get out to that, like Michigan, Northern Ohio, Wisconsin, Minnesota, you're basically in Canada. And the water, for whatever reason, is different.
Don't they have a lot of tannic water up there?
Yes,
I thought so.
Yes, the farther north you go, the more tannic.
Which isn't dirty, just a different color.
No, it's clean, but
it's a different color.
It definitely shows bait different. And I'll tell you this: white and chartreuse, your nemesis. Up
there it's not.
White and chartreuse and tannic water is incredible. And in that water, you can see 10 foot down. But if you take a glass of that water, there's a tinge of orange or brown or, a rust.
Are you talking about the dead leaf? Like cattle's like that, right? Because of all the dead leaves and all the
like a very brownish clear.
It's like tea. It's like
copper.
tea.
Like copper. Yeah.
Tea.
Yeah. Tea isn't dirty. It's just a different color.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I fish a tidal river on the eastern seaboard called the Pocomoke, and the water isn't dirty. It's just a different color.
I think another favor of my going back to the baits for winter, I think two we haven't mentioned that are underrated. Well, not underrated. One is more of a staple. Is the lipless crankbait.
Yeah.
Again, I prefer to throw it on red, but also like chrome color, like the Bill Lewis chrome. Lipless crankbait, that is money on winter.
Yeah. Well, any bait. So you got to think about it, right? Like a vibrating bait, such as a blade bait or a lipless. It's basically a big spinnerbait blade put into a different position. Instead of going straight, it's hinged in the center and it's throw and flash. Like when I throw blade baits or I throw lipless, it's not opaque. It's always shiny. It's always something like that. And that is a bait that is going to be featured very soon. Spoiler alert for all of you.
That's right. Actually, for all of you that frequent the secret menu on Dark Horse Tackle, it's actually available right now.
And that is another one that I think it shines. We're on bluff walls in winter where the bass might be a little bit higher up in the water column, seeking that radiant heat from the rocks, and also on like rock beds. When you get those, especially like dams or any place where they put a lot of like white rock to avoid erosion, it's that white rock tends to hold a little bit more heat than, let's say, clay rocks, just because it's the white color. It attracts the heat. And those lipless crankbait work awesome in that, especially if you can bag them. Now you do get them hang up. I wouldn't throw them if you're targeting bass on wooded area, because you're gonna get, not that you can't catch fish, but you're gonna get hung up so many times. You're gonna
not only if it's wooded, you're not gonna get them back.
Yeah, you're gonna just lose your religion there.
Wood for me in any time of the year. Again, it comes down to one or two things. Am I going to try to get them to react fast, or am I going to try to slow down on them? But I can control my presentation better on any bait that I'm moving fast. Any spinner bait, like especially a spinner bait, you can count that thing down to 8 feet, keep it at 8 feet, bring it straight back to the boat. If you're fishing 16 feet of standing timber and those bass are in the middle of that, it's going to be very difficult to flip a jig. It's going to be very difficult to flip a Texas rig because you're banking on those fish at 8 feet to swim into a completely different level of pressure to stare at that bait. You're asking them to express energy, which they might not want to. About the colors, not the line shy stuff. Too much algae. Too much algae for a specific color or
Line shine? Not the line shine stuff.
We need clarification.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he means by line shine stuff.
I do want to point something out here. I've heard wood and rock talked about a lot here. And what is the major difference between wood and rock and grass is that wood and rock are not going to change. And a lot of times when there's something that's a variable and something that's a constant, the bass will go to the constant.
It's a safe place.
Correct. They'll go to the constant. Now, please keep in mind that doesn't take vegetation out of the picture. Think about pad stems.
Yep.
Pad stems are going to be there.
That's hard cover, dude. That's
hard cover. They're going to be there. So if the pads die and blah, 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 but you got these pad stems, you got all this cover just hanging out, that's going to be there. That's a good place to go. But it is a thing I know for a fact in winter that if the fish have a choice, sometimes they don't, but when the fish have a choice, they will usually congregate more around the constant rather than the variable.
Yep, I've got a bluff wall. I've got a bluff wall by my house. Lake by my house. I fished my whole life. There's a bluff wall that all year, all summer, all winter, all spring, they spawn on it. They pre-spawn on it. They summer pattern on it. They fall pattern on it. And they definitely stay there at wintertime. And that's because it is a gigantic slate ledge that maintains a consistent something. And that is the hardness of it. Line visibility. It is important in some of our lakes, but our reservoirs are thick with algae, top down. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. See, that's what you were talking about, Armando. That's that man-made deal, right? That's that unnatural. Bass are going to stray away from that because something has changed the chemistry of the water. And what has changed the chemistry of the water is currently continuing to change the chemistry of the water.
Yeah, those green algae blooms are horrible. You have that, just get out of there. I'm
not sold on line visibility.
I'm not either, but I will tell you this. They do get finicky.
I don't think
predominant.
I don't think hot take
Whoa!
Maybe. I don't actually think it's the visibility of the line that is the difference. I think the difference is that the smaller line you use,
the less whatever,
the more
movement,
the more action the bait has. I'm not so sure it has to do with the visibility as much as it has to do with the action that your bait can have with a lighter line.
So
that's a good point. Go ahead.
That's what I've always concurred that same thought.
You concur?
I concur. It's not that they can see it. It's how it makes your bait act.
Does that make you concurrent?
Your bait. I'll tell you this. For those guys throwing braid in weird colors, if you're worried about line visibility, stop throwing braid in weird colors. And yes, white and black are weird colors. Just because you can't see it and you think black is stealthy, black is one of the best fish catching colors in the world because of the contrast it creates. So if you're throwing 40-pound braid in that line, in that water, think about a hard line in that water.
I never understood why you always heard people talking about taking a black Sharpie to their braid.
Nope. The more worn out green braid gets, the more natural it actually looks.
I just never understood why would you do that?
I do that when, for example, on the finesse techniques, because the line on the braid, the line is going to be so light, so the diameter is going to be so small. I want to know where the line is. The problem with braid, the biggest problem with braid is...
So you're doing it for you, not for the bass.
Exactly. The biggest problem with braid is it is very subject to wind movement. Like if it, that's the only downfall with braid. Like if you are trying to skip a bait or get a bait on a specific between cypress trees and cattle, and it's
There we go.
windy and you have braid, it's gonna be a nightmare
Yeah.
because you're gonna have to keep those casts short and low to the water because the wind is just gonna move it and you're gonna get it hung up. So I like to have a bright color braid just to know where my line is, kind of have a visual aspect of it. And also, like if I'm looking for subtle bites, like a Ned rig, and I'm letting that Ned rig stay. on
You're a
the
line
water
watcher.
for- What?
You're a line watcher.
Line watching,
Aren't
exactly.
we
Yeah.
all?
No, that's
Well-
a great thing to do.
Aren't we
But-
all?
I wanted when I do that, then I'll Sharpie like towards the that end where I tie it. It's gonna be like 2 or 3 feet of just
I've got a fix
Sharpie
for you,
black.
and it's crazy, but I do it, and I've done it. If I'm having trouble, like you said, if I'm having trouble, so a lot of times I've got spare line, like I've got spare braid, spare everything for days. If you're throwing a 20-pound test chartreuse braid, tie a 10-foot green leader. The knot's going to be small. It's braid, but you'll be able to track your line and you won't have to worry. Now, granted, the Sharpie will do the same thing, but the reason I don't use Sharpie is superstition, man. It stinks. It's going to soak into that braid. It stinks. I don't know, but an FG knot on some braid, it ain't going to do nothing.
I can't do an FG knot on braid. I can't do
Come
an FG knot.
on. Oh, come
Not on the water. Not on the water.
Oh, come on.
No,
I can
it's
even
too
do it on the water.
complicated.
I was
I
so
can do it on a
excited.
board or not. It works just fine.
I was
A
so
lot
excited to
easier
show
to tie.
Zach how quick I could do FG knots when I learned how to do it.
We're gonna race. We're gonna race next time we
gave
meet
him
each other.
I gave him the same load of BS because I was like, that knot's stupid. This knot's better. Then I watched about 17 YouTube videos on knot test strength. And I was like, well, I'm only tying these 3 knots for the rest of my life because the facts are right there.
I learned to tie the FG knot in my truck.
Bye-bye.
Oh, he's back. Oh, he's back twice.
I'm
Hey-o.
sorry. My bad.
Whoa.
There he is.
For
There he
a
is.
minute, you sounded like God.
Yeah.
My bad.
I
But no,
see,
the FG knot, like I learned to tie that thing in my truck, and I'm telling you right now, I could tie it damn near anywhere now.
yep. I like, listen, what's funny is when
I was
learned-
driving, by the way.
When I learned
Yeah.
the FG knot, good. Tied it with my toes.
Yeah.
When I learned the FG knot, that was also the same time that I learned that still throwing straight braid, like if you just straight up throw 30-pound braid like all the time, like there's a good chance you're not missing.
Somebody, I can't do it. Armando, can you put Michael Bradley's last comment up?
The tracer line is very
Well,
That's
broke-
badass. That's
broke.
badass. That's badass. Michael
Didn't-
Bradley might do some fishing. He
Didn't
might know
Sunline
something.
make that? I think Sunline made tracer.
I don't know. Stinky River Tom, what's up, buddy?
Who made the tracer braid?
Feather Outdoors says this is this is why I stand on my soapbox on this, and with all due respect to Feather Outdoors, it says forget leaders, throw straight floral,
Nope.
not leave room for possible breakoff.
Not FG
Well, that
knots.
is completely true, and
It is.
He
It
does-
is. A
he's
knot
right.
is a weak spot.
what I would say is this: if I'm fishing out of the bank or a boat, yes, I would go straight floor, straight mono. If you're fishing out of a kayak, it's like everything gives, right? Like your rod gives, your floor line gives, your kayak is gonna give. Like if you set the hook, you're gonna give because a bass can turn you or can move you. That's why a lot of kayakers, and this is kind of like a tip that a lot of people don't talk about. When you're on your kayak, the best way to try to avoid losing the fish is casting to your side. Like cast to your side, because when a bass is gonna pull on you, it's a lot harder for him to pull you if he has to move your kayak sideways.
Correct, because you're perpendicular.
Exactly. But the reason why I personally use braid, and a lot of people like to use braid, not always a floral leader or not always a leader, is because I'm in a kayak and I need to give myself the best advantage possible, because everything I'm doing is an advantage to the bass. If I'm on a bass boat or if I'm on a bank and I set the hook, there's no give.
Right.
Like a bass not gonna pull me out of the water. A bass not gonna push a glitter 20-foot glitter boat out of position. So when
you say it like it's a
this is a new term.
You've never heard that?
No,
What?
I've never heard that before. This glitter boat that you've said like 4 times now.
He
never
says it
heard
like
that?
a slur.
Yeah, you say it like you're like, hey.
Not trying to be insulting.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like I've never heard the glitter boat.
You never heard the glitter boat.
No,
That's
and
impossible.
it does. No, it is not impossible. I've
Glitter
never heard it.
missiles.
No, never.
Glitter
I've never
boat.
heard that
You've
before.
Never heard the term glitter
Nope.
boat. That is crazy. I wanted to go to a comment further outdoors made, which I think it's interesting because I actually was going to touch on this. He says, we tend to set up normally in the middle of shallow waters and the breaks to be able to fish both ends of the spectrum at one time or another than our expansive flats to pick up fish coming up from the feed. I wanted to touch on that because the mentality is both on summer and in winter, it's like go deep. And while that, yes, bass are going to try to find water temperatures to kind of regulate the temperature. They will go deep. What ends up happening, they have to feed every now and then. And a lot of times they'll set up to look for bait fish. And I found a lot of success on winter and summer where I'll set up kind of where Feather Outdoors just mentioned. It's like I like to look for flats that have access to the main lake that goes deep versus in spring. Like, to give you a perspective, in spring, I am willing to go to flats that go deep into a creek or a cove because they're going to be there either getting ready for spawning or feeding because the water temperature is not that big of an issue. But when it's winter or it's summer, they're going to go deeper. But they would still go to those areas to feed because they still have to eat. And typically, Chad are not going to say, oh, look, there's a school of bass. Let's go over there so we can get ripped up and picked apart. No, they're going to be where the bass are not. So if you set up like in a flat area where it has immediate access to deep area and main lake, that's where you want to be.
You're looking for that.
Sure.
You're looking for that depth transition area.
Exactly. You can fish. You can fish on shallow waters in both hot summers and cold winters. You just have to be at the right place at the right time. That's not always easy.
Do you know how I think of it? In the winter and the summer, because we talk about oxygenation, right? You got that deep water that transitions into shallow, vice versa. Shallow transitions to deep.
Yeah.
I like to think of bass coming up there as if we are jumping into the water and diving down deeper. Our safety is above the water because we can breathe. And when we dive down to go look at something, we have to hold our breath. So when they go to feed, it is a quick expansion of energy, holding their breath, giving it all that they can give to stay up there as long as they can.
Their swim bladder's getting all weird.
Yep. And then they go, okay, time to go back down.
Exactly.
Because the bass are always going to be near the bait. Again, they do 3 things.
That's number one. That's number one right there.
They make babies.
Number one is being
They're
nearby the food. Nobody wants to live in a food desert.
Right.
We all want to be close to the grocery store.
Right. There's always outliers, right? Sure. You can argue that. Well, I've caught a bass. I don't care. The majority of your bass are instinctual, opportunistic, stupid, hungry, aggressive feeders. That's why they maintain the apex predator in a lot of your lakes. Sure, there's muskie and pike, but bass will straight up run a place dry if they have the opportunity.
How do pickerels survive?
By being assholes.
Those fools will just hit something like
Are you
84
kidding me?
times in a row.
Yeah,
They'll just hit something
they'll eat
84 times
anything.
in a row. Yeah, but what I'm saying is like, how's that work out for the whole energy conservation deal? Like
They might be different than bass.
Pickerels are
those
good
fools
at
will just
cold
hit
water.
something like 54 freaking times in a row. They're
not a
not just
pickerel
cold
fisherman.
water, bro. I catch them down in Maryland all the time. It's one of the best places
Yeah,
to catch
they
them
have them
in a
in
tidal
Florida.
fishery.
Yeah, we
Nebraska.
have them in cattle like here in Texas.
Don't they
It's
call them like
weird.
shoe picks or something down in the south? Shoe picks? I think so.
I've never heard shoe pick.
Pretty sure. Anyways,
Your vocabulary is completely different than me and John. It's like
Doesn't
are we even
translate
talking
well,
English?
does it?
Glitter boats, shoe pickers. What?
I've never.
Ah, shit. Here they come, the shoe pickers.
Now it's starting to
Oh,
sound like
God,
something
it's-
that's not good. That name
doesn't
probably
sound
has
good.
some kind of.
Is that
Some
what
kind
you
of-
said? What did you say? What was the word? the term
Don't
that
worry
you
about
used?
it.
Shoe pick.
Shoe pick. Okay.
I'm gonna look it
Yeah.
up right now while
I
you
mean,
guys
the-
are talking about something else.
The small pike, you see, the pike are
This is
interesting.
where we don't share the screen on your Google, please.
The pike and muskie are very interesting because it seems that like for 90% of their life, they are just trying to survive. And so they're eating everything that goes by them.
Oh, pickerel are.
Right. But you get those monoliths, right? Those legendary big old 40 plus inchers, and they're weary. It's like they hit a certain age and they're just like, you know what? I don't have to eat everything that goes by my face. I could just be massive and scary. Like I pulled up, so Zach and I fished the Allegheny
Hold on,
River.
I'm gonna interrupt you right now because this
Oh,
is too
boy.
good. Okay, so a shoe pick, also known as show pick, is a greenish brown predator fish with sharp teeth. The end.
Yeah.
Do the image thing on Google. Like
No, it's literally anything that is greenish brown. So that's a mudfish. That's a bowfin. That's
Yeah.
a pickerel. That's that's funny.
Shoe pick is the Choctaw Cajun name for the bowfin.
For the bowfin.
Yeah.
I've heard him. I've look
But-
burbot, northern pike, white perch.
But I'm guessing since it's a Cajun thing, it's probably spelled really stupid.
Oh boy. Oh god. It's insulting one race after another.
It's,
here.
hey, come on. It's French people.
All right, here goes all my Louisiana audience. Just
Oh,
unfollow.
no, I don't know, man. Like, we're pretty good friends.
Hammer
with Swamp
handles.
Pro.
Slime darts I've heard. Hammer handles I've never heard that
Hammer
before.
handles
That's
is
crazy. Yeah,
We're
I kind
going
of like
down-
that.
We're going down a dangerous road here with calling names. I'm telling you. All right,
We're talking about fish.
I know.
I bet there's
Brim?
a Q.
Brim,
Bet there's a
brim,
few.
brim. They don't.
Yeah, it's
that's
spelled
a
bream.
bream, but that's a bluegill, right? That's sunfish. Yeah.
Sunfish,
Yeah.
panfish.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a stupid bream.
It's
You know.
not rockets.
That's usually the guys
Yes.
that call them brim talk like that. So
Well, no, it's a southern term.
yeah, sure. See, now you're making it worse. I was keeping. it
Oh
going.
no, nobody said dumb other than you. So I don't think we made it worse.
I'm
Nobody
saying,
but
Nobody
Magic
but
Mike.
you called them dumb.
micro
Just Magic Mike.
buddy. It's
Micro magic. Micro magic. Nobody but micro magic. Dogfish. I've heard him called meat missile. Okay.
Okay, you what I'm telling you?
I'll tell you this. Bowfin are fun.
So, anyways, back
Oh,
to
yeah.
winter baits.
Bowfin. See, I think that they should have commoditized bowfin. That should have been the largemouth bass.
I think I'm with you this one sec. If you never heard the word commoditize,
Yeah, I've never have.
there we go.
Yes,
This is a new
Yeah.
one.
Yes, you have. I have.
There
said
was an
commoditize
extra
to you.
syllable or 4 in there.
No, commoditize is the
Sure.
act of making a commodity out of something.
Oh, he's looking it up. Here we go. Real reaction.
Commoditize. The process where district products or services become, in the eyes of consumers, indistinguishable from its competitors' offerings, shifting the market focus on.
Are you sure you're not like mispronouncing it? though?
Commoditize.
He explained it, and now I know less about that word than I did before he said it.
They should
How
have
is that
made.
possible?
They should have made bowfin fishing as popular, and they should have planted bowfin the same way they did largemouth and smallmouth bass.
They're kind of slimy.
They're awesome and they're mean.
I've heard snakeheads are really good to eat, but I've never.
Yeah,
They are. Taste like chicken.
and they're mean.
Yeah, I bet.
I think honestly, I think in the everybody talks about the big snakehead takeover, right? Because it's an invasive.
Commoditization, commoditized. Yes, it is a word.
It is a word.
Feather
Absolutely.
Outdoors intelligence level dwindling. You got it right, buddy. That is absolutely on point.
I'll use smaller words, guys. Like shoe.
See, usually I'm getting picked on for this.
Uh-huh.
Not tonight.
Yeah,
You know what? And going back, trying to get it
slimy.
back on rail, getting this train on the rails again.
Sure.
Getting the train on the rails.
Yeah.
All right.
I
sent you a GIF. I warned you.
Sure.
What is it? Another favorite of mine on winter, but this is more going back to like grass flats, or lily pad stems. A white jerkbait is killer in winter in those flats.
Soft or hard?
What do you mean?
A soft jerk bait or a hard jerk bait? Soft plastic, or are you talking about a hard bait?
Oh, I'm sorry. I said jerkbait. No, chatterbait. My apologies.
Okay.
Chatterbait.
Just
I meant to say
completely different.
chatterbait. Yeah, completely different.
Not even close.
Chatterbait. I don't know why I said chatterbaits. On best Dave I've ever had on a winter was lily pad stems, chatterbaits. It was like you couldn't throw it out there and not get bit. It was crazy.
And that
It was
just
actually
goes
my
to
first ever YouTube videos on my channel. The first one that I did. We had an amazing time with Lone Star kayak fishing.
Somebody said, "Bring out the cat."
Yeah, I know.
You must have missed that, buddy. Josh's cat was just straight hijacked our last podcast.
Oh yeah, no, I have to keep the cats out of the room.
What's
so
funny
they'll
is
do
she's down here.
Just cool. Must like the conversation. Must think we're not making a mistake.
Yeah, I actually have something to talk about. It's nice.
Another one that I wanted to mention was this is more for smallmouth bass, but God, I forgot tubes.
Yeah.
Tube jigging, man. That is another one.
Well, now hold on.
Yeah?
What are you
Go ahead.
doing with that tube? You cracking
Bluff-
it? You cracking it? Or
What do you mean cracking it?
cracking
He
it too?
learned this one technique on a tube. He thinks it's the only way to catch smallmouth.
No,
Yeah, I
it's
don't know
not
what cracking
true.
it is.
Cracking it too. You're literally like cracking it up off the top. Like, I mean, like you let it hit the bottom and then you crack it and it just whoa.
Josh, have you ever heard anybody use the term cracking it?
Oh,
Yes.
I communicate with Zach on a day-to-day basis, and
Other than Zach, have you ever heard anybody says, "Are you cracking that bait?"
I know he heard it from somebody.
No.
He heard it from somebody.
Cracking it,
Other
cracking
than
it too.
Zach,
No,
I've
cracking
never
it
heard
too.
cracking it.
You're just
What?
whipping it. You're just whipping it up off the bottom. It's
You're-
it's a thing. It's a thing.
Hard
Dropping
pull.
it and okay.
So
Yes.
the body
Yes.
of a tube is very uneven because it's literally just two pieces of plastic poured over a Sharpie marker and then cut a bunch of times on one end. So it's going to be uneven.
That's
And
actually how most of the Sharpie markers get sold in the United States. People pouring
Exactly.
tubes.
people pouring tubes. So with the shape of the tube, you've got a lot of oblong, odd, obscure shapes to come out of it. But in the water with a heavy head weight, it does that, it does that thing.
That circle down.
Yeah, the death spiral.
Yeah.
And-
Death spiral. Is that okay? You guys know death spiral?
Yes.
All right. Cool. We're all three in agreement.
Believe it or not, the one thing to not monetize is us saying death. Everything else is clear.
Wait, monetize or commoditize?
Monetize to make money. We have said the dreaded D word. But one thing I really liked doing with tubes back in the day was putting.
Wait, I can't say death on a.
No, can't say die either.
For real?
Or gun.
I know in the comment section.
I mean, we're done now, so we might as well say whatever we want.
Well, we have no expectation of going viral, anyways.
I mean,
I have that expectation every single time.
Virility, new word.
Virility, I know that.
It's always
possible. You sneezed.
It's always possible. But no, one thing I love doing on a tube, especially when it kind of slows down. Similar, this is your. I'm going to keep saying big words now. This is your quintessential.
Quintessential.
Yeah, this is your quintessential 30-second pause on a jerkbait. I would take a tube and Jesus.
Somebody's coughed up a lung there.
Yeah, he told them to be quiet for an hour in their cage and they're not listening. No.
It's hard to get good help.
Take earplugs. Take an earplug and you take your tube jig, you put your tube jig in, then you take an earplug and you put it somewhere in there. The density of that foam is going to slow that fall rate down. So
really,
yeah, but importantly, on a jig head tube, you want that jig head to fill the tube, right? So if you're throwing a 1/8 ounce, you want that full 1/8 to take the head. So it's not like you can just change it out with a 1/16. You have to do the earplug thing to change the density of that weight to change the fall rate. Because not only is it going to fall less head first, it's going to fall more horizontal of a spiral of unaliving itself.
That's 100% a word.
It's becoming more and more popular, ironically. So
unaliving?
Yeah, it's actually a trigger to say. Anyways, so
well, look at all these comments that are coming in all of a sudden.
Hey-o.
I missed the cat.
Yeah, don't we all do?
Mark Zona. Yes, Mark Zona.
Yeah, I know that, Sean. It was a joke, and you're not supposed to. Everybody hates to know it all. Everybody hates to know it all.
Okay, here we go. Feather Outdoors, power, finesse, a tube is what he's trying to say. Yes, that. Thank you for.
No. I was talking about cracking a tube.
Yeah, it's a power.
Yes, that's what you were talking about. Power finesse.
I don't know. Andrew Hayes said power finesse is a lie.
And for once in his life, outside of simping for Z-Man, Andrew was wrong. But power finesse is a technique that is achievable on any kind of bait. Adding finesse to a technique is possible.
We can't talk about power finesse today. We can't. We're too deep in the woods.
It's a great winter fishing time because throwing a 3-inch or smaller swim bait at a fast rate of speed is
how about throwing a finesse cut 3/8 ounce jig?
A finesse cut 3/8 ounce jig. That's power finesse because you added some finesse to the skirting.
H&H makes one of those.
He does.
H&H makes one of those.
I've actually got one here. That is one that I do throw. The Power XT. It's buried. I've got it here. It's buried.
No, it's buried here.
5/16 of an ounce. Teeny tiny Ned rig style.
Dude, it's definitely
little
buried.
ball head, 1/0 hook. And that's a great easy meal for a bass in any weather.
If it makes it any better, I can actually see the tote that jig is in.
Makes you happy.
I can see the tote that jig is in.
All right. So, what color tubes do you use for winter?
Oh, dude, green pumpkin always.
Yeah,
green pumpkin. Like if you don't have a green pumpkin tube and
that's all the tubes that I got.
You're making a mistake.
I like green pumpkin is good.
Oh, I do have the
I like orange.
The what is it?
Got to be green pumpkin-y orange though.
The African.
That's fine.
It's not the Zoom version of it, but you know how Zoom has a
South African.
I love the African Fiesta color, something like that.
So it's black with all the different glitters.
Exactly, that one.
That color is good.
Yes.
That color is good for everything, all the time, all year long,
Yep.
no matter what.
Everywhere.
Dude, I don't know if they
That has got it. That's
their brush hog with that. And I was
that's
like,
top
why
5
would you
colors
stop?
for me. That's top 5 colors for
So
me.
black-
As any soft
A
plastic.
lot of times it's black with red, silver, and purple flake. Sometimes gold.
I see a lot
and-
more gold than not
That
On tubes?
on anything South African special.
Yeah.
flake
South African's fifth special. That's what it is.
flake is cool because all flake is there for is to go, wait, what was that? Wait, what was that? That's it. It's just a shiny piece of plastic that gets their eye.
Oh, that's another thing I forgot to mention. Another thing that I think it's worked great color is gold shad. I don't know why winter. I cannot get a bite on a gold shad style, either chatterbait or swim bait, usually on other times of the year, but on winter, especially on bluff walls and rock piles, the gold shiners are great on winter.
Black and gold is a black. It's either black and gold.
Gold all the time.
Yep.
Whoa. You know, I actually have secret lures right behind me.
We do.
Literally right behind me.
We do.
You went to
Do
get
we-
it? What's going on?
Do you want me to get him? Was that what? Okay, that's what the quiet is about.
I have no idea.
I didn't say I was going to get him. I just said I had him right behind me.
No.
All right. Do you use gold? Do you typically
With Bass
try-
Hunter, I don't have the crazy.
If I can-
We don't have secret lures tubes either. We just have their craws.
It's a craw
So do you
tube, bro.
guys have you guys used gold, like gold shine or gold colors on winter?
Yes.
With six.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Honestly, I prefer gold over silver always.
So the way I see winter in color selection is one of two things: a transparent natural or a bright transparent. So a northern secret, a dark purple with the chartreuse on the belly, but it's still transparent. You got enough of a presentation there to be seen. A lot of my water up here clears up real bad. So the reason why I say real bad is because it's more clear than it is any other time of the year. So I'll be throwing a lot of your transparent shad style, colors. And in the crawdads, I'll go to a more solid. Nice move, Zach.
Dude, this is a very fast chair. It's tough. You saw it. It's got rollerblade wheels.
See, and the way I fish feather outdoors is I always assume that they're chasing some kind of forage. And I'm rarely ever throwing a bluegill. A lot of times, the only reason I do throw a bluegill pattern is for the contrast of the color itself. It is a dark color that tends to have some bright on it. Yeah, there's your lucky penny. Stupid crawl. That's a cool color. That's a good transparent green pumpkin with some orangey brown in it.
I just Googled Dr. Venture, and yeah, I have to agree with Daniel J. Cook 74's comment. I was thinking Josh kind of has a Dr. Venture vibe tonight. Yep. I'm looking at it right now.
Is it because I'm bald?
I
Who
know
the hell is Dr. Venture?
I just Googled the image. But yeah.
Is it because I'm bald, Daniel?
I don't think he's bald on if I'm looking at the right.
You know what?
Venture.
I'll do the rest of the show like this.
This is Magic Craw.
Oh man.
Doesn't look very magical in that light.
Well, it doesn't. No, you can't see any of the cool stuff.
No, you
I
can't.
take the opportunity to highlight things. Could you put that crow up in the yeah. Talk about the appendages and why is it so important to have that little notch? Well, you can't see my cursor. I'm pointing with my cursor like you can see it.
Gives it that reaction style.
This is actually whoa, not this one.
Solid.
Yeah. No, it's not solid. It just I forgot that these are rigged this way. The hole is the other way. The hole is in the other end.
Hey, we sold 2 knockers today. 2 was
Kind of weird that you didn't know that till now.
No, I just listen, it's expo season. It's expo season.
we're selling.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
Talk about. Okay, we done with the craw thing that I was.
No, I've got it.
No. Okay,
know.
here we go. 2 style of appendages on your crawl baits.
Yes, fishing the sticks, correct.
You got a natural, which is that, right? Just your 2-prong, 2 arms. Looks like a crawdad. And then you've got your flanged style where it gives it more action. Oh, you want to come see us at the Dark Horse Tackle headquarters? Well, I hope you can be in 2 places at once. Because or just come to a fishing expo.
Or just come to Columbus next Friday,
actually
Saturday, or Sunday.
Zechariah in October, but we couldn't make it happen.
Yeah. Hey, did you not get here?
No, I didn't get there. I couldn't.
Okay.
Things came up.
We always have grand plans and things come up. Like we were gonna go.
Dude, that's
I
life.
had grand plans.
Yeah,
And I hate it when I cancel because I hate it when people do that to me.
Dude, trust me. If anybody gets it, we get it. Like the amount of, every year at the beginning of the year, we're gonna go here, and everywhere. And
If I had $1.50 for every time that we said, it would be really cool, man.
yeah,
I'd be a very rich man.
we'd also be.
All right. So are you done with the appendage? Because I know Brandon, you saw a shiny object and you immediately stopped talking and to entertain
Who?
Brandon's.
Who's
approach.
Brandon?
B Don 2323. Anyways, I think that's him. Maybe not.
B Don.
I don't know who that.
No, I'm not done with the appendages. I've got them right here.
So
We've got all the appendages.
That's what piggybacking on what Josh said. It's like I don't use a craw, soft plastic craw unless it has, what do you call it? The flannels, the foot,
The flanges, yes, the flange dependent.
Sorry.
Yes, I agree with you.
which makes
I agree
it kick.
Do you want to know why I don't? So
It is Brandon. Okay, my bad. Go ahead. Continue.
I have the ability to process the fact that it may not look like a crawdad to these fish. And a lot of people are told consistently that you have to throw the crawdad bait because that's what they eat, like that, just that force feeding of
Well, the
professional fishing.
tube destroys that.
Right.
Because
tube
Exactly.
destroys-
the tube is everything.
So it's the jig.
This is
Oh, we're getting
Ooh,
deep
this is
now.
my
Dramatic
pet
zoom.
peeve, because I see a lot of people talk about that. So, well, you have to, yes, you kind of have to imitate the hatch, but there is such a thing as standing out. For example, if you are in an area where this has happened to me, where you see the bass just coming up like National Geographic, where you see those whales come up from the bottom with their mouth open and gulping down all the bait fish. I've seen where bass are coming up from the bottom, just gulping out, mouth wide open, and you throw what you think, oh, this looks exactly what they're eating, and it doesn't work, because why would they chase your bait if they can see the real thing? They're going to be more attracted to the real thing than your bait, typically, if they're actively, targeting a ball of bait fish, right? Like, why would they be? Other thing is they're going to attack the ball of bait unless you get your bait right there, that ball of bait, and just happens to run into them, that you're going to catch a fish. But they're not going to look for little bait fish out the outskirts of it. They're going to look like they're going to attack that ball of bait. They're going to go for the baits that are separating from them and attack. Either ways, the point that I'm trying to make is, like, when we talk about like and this goes to any prey animal like deer or any animal that is going to be preyed upon by a predator in their natural habitat. When they say like, oh, that's why you hardly see albino, whatever, deer, whatever, is because they stand out more. They can camouflage and the predator is going to see them. Well, the same thing works with the bait. People think like, oh, it has to look exactly. No, it doesn't. Like,
No.
It's sometimes, but it's not an end all. Like if you throw a bright color, you're gonna say like, well, that's not natural. It's not natural because any fish out there is gonna target a bait that they can easily see.
Right.
So if you're throwing a bait that stands out, fish are gonna key up on it, even
Sure.
if it doesn't look natural, and go
Yeah,
after it.
because it's the one that stands out.
Exactly.
So
It's an easier target.
there was
You go running around with chartreuse painted on your back, you're gonna be the first one to get got.
Exactly.
the one, you know,
How's that for vocabulary? You're the first one
I
gonna
know.
get got.
the one proof,
You're like the Hemingway of bullshit.
Hemingway.
the one proof I have on it doesn't have to look like whatever is literally a Texas rigged stick worm, Texas rigged Cinco.
Is a what?
It is a bait. It is something going past their face fast, and they're like,
And why does a Senko work so well? Is if you throw a Senko compared to a young bait, Senko is more expensive.
oh, it's,
But you both throw them on a wacky rig and watch them both go down the water column. You're gonna see that Senko, the ends of that Senko is just gonna be flapping a lot more than that young bait. That's why it's so popular.
it's because Yum makes shitty baits.
Exactly, but I've had this argument with people. It's like it's the same thing. It's like I get it. When I'm practicing for a tournament, I'll throw my young baits out there. I'm not gonna throw my Senkos, right? Because I'm saving that for the tournament, and I don't have enough money to buy a pack of like 200 Senkos, right? But when you put, I'll tell this to anybody: if you think they're the same, put a wacky rig on both of them.
Yeah,
Throw it out on clear water. Fill
Yeah.
your tub if you want, and watch that Senko go down, and you'll notice the difference in the action. It just has a lot more action to it. And sometimes, not saying you can't catch a bass on a young bait Senko version of a Senko,
sure.
but you're gonna have more success on either the Yamamoto Senko or anything that has that same combination.
The Magnum reg stick is the closest to consistency that I've
Yes.
found.
Yes.
Beat on 2323 shots fired. Yeah, you must not know me too well. Anything under the Booyah corporate umbrella can get these hands any day, buddy. And I'll tell you this. Booyah company.
Hey. Now listen, they made a stick bait with a forked tail on it.
Yeah.
For a long time.
Yeah.
And
So does
dude,
Yamamoto.
that was I'm just saying the Yum version, that was somebody I know very near and dear to my heart. That was their favorite bait for years, bro. And it worked just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, not saying you can't catch, but there's a
I'm
difference.
just saying,
Why.
listen,
No, there is a difference. There is a
everything
difference.
Booyah puts their hands on is like a knockoff, and there's still a multi-million-dollar. Like, it's weird. It's a weird bait company, man. They're a weird bait company. We're not past the fuzzy dice, though.
No, we're not past the fuzzy dice. In
I
fact,
haven't thrown it yet. Have you guys thrown it?
well, just give it a month or so, buddy. We might have you covered.
We're
trying to grow
fuzzy dice.
Spaceballs as we speak.
Let's think about fuzzy dice is the packaging is weird.
Yeah.
So if we were to do fuzzy dice, you should expect bigger boxes.
I like Spaceballs better than fuzzy dice. Just saying.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
movie?
they are technically more Spaceballs than they are fuzzy. They're realistically, I don't think this is a fuzzy dice at all because it's not really fuzzy as much as it is.
It's urchiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bait ball as well.
That is not a word. I know it's not a word. Just for all you people out there watching our P's and Q's.
I'll tell you the Koike in
Dark
regards
helmet.
Lone Star.
Classic John Candy.
Fun fact: when I was little, the first time I saw Spaceballs, I threw up when I saw Pizza the Hut.
Are you serious?
I couldn't
That's
deal with
because he
Throw up
looks like
because-
I couldn't deal with
throw
it.
up.
I couldn't
He
deal
looks
with
like
it.
Did it ruin Pizza Hut for you?
Nope. I couldn't deal with it. Like at the time that I was at, I looked up and saw that, and I'm like, oh my god.
My favorite, I probably shouldn't say, but my favorite was when they're combing the desert.
Yeah, we ain't found shit.
Oh man, that was what's his name? What's the director? Oh my god, I forgot his name.
Oh, that's
Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks.
Brooks.
Yep, that's it.
Dude, Blazing Saddle. You cannot make that movie now. But
Great
dude,
movie.
Blazing
You can't,
Saddle.
dude. Mel Brooks would not be able to have a career right now.
Blazing Saddle was hilarious.
Just straight up.
Wait a minute.
You're not allowed to say that stuff.
Yeah.
Any of it. I'm not even so sure we were allowed to just make the movie reference we made.
I mean, Airplane alone.
No, everyone was a no.
Airplane alone would.
I like coffee like my man.
My favorite was the drinking problem.
Yes. Yes.
I still laugh like a little kid when the captain asked, "What's the name of the gun from the naked guy?" Surely you must be joking.
Yes.
I'm not joking.
Leslie
Don't call me
Nielsen.
Shirley.
Yes. They just did they did a new Naked Gun not too long ago, and it's not it is so far from what the original was, you just can't.
Yeah. It's like Dumb and Dumber.
Chatterbait or spinnerbait?
Spinnerbait's on the up.
track.
Spinnerbait's on the up. 100%.
Yeah, spinnerbait's
is
on the up.
I've told you this. It's
You're going
going
bear.
to
You're
happen.
going bear. You're going you're going bull. You're going bull on the spinnerbait, huh? Bear, bull. Which one? Bull or
I'll
bear?
take
Which?
a spinnerbait over a chatterbait any day.
Yeah,
Really?
I don't know.
Control.
I
More
really
control.
love. I've really fallen in love with spinnerbaits over the last year and a half.
Dude, I'm telling you. It
I don't know,
drives-
man.
there is
Windy,
something-
windy. I agree. If it's really windy, then yeah.
What the hell does that have to do with the price of rice?
But well, people
What?
like to think when it's windy outside and you throw a spinnerbait.
Wait, you've never heard the
throws-
price of rice?
No.
Never mind. We're just moving on. Moving on.
Yeah, it's too many of those right now.
Thank you, Sean.
We're going bull on spinnerbaits, dude.
Yes, going bull on spinnerbaits.
100%.
I've caught some last year. I think I was actually with Brandon, who's watching. He just commented. I caught like a black, what is it? Black and red spinnerbait. Caught a 5-pounder off
It's a wild combo.
standing timber.
Wild combo.
Yeah. But I struggle with the spinnerbait. If it's really if they're biting, if they're really actively biting,
That's a non-starter though. If they're
Pressure
actively
drops
biting,
and
you can
stuff
do whatever
like
you
that.
want.
exactly.
That's not the point.
I'm telling you, the amount of control that you so
Do you put a trailer on it? Let me ask you this on your spinnerbait.
Absolutely. I do.
Sometimes
I do.
When do you let's talk about that. When do you not put a trailer and when do you put a trailer?
I don't put a trailer on when I am trying
Depth.
to get the bait deep, or if I'm trying to fish the bait fast.
Do you
So
put a paddle tail on it?
sometimes you can put
That'll raise it up
anything.
the water
You can
column.
put anything you want on a spinnerbait. So let me show you guys a spinnerbait real quick, and then we're going to turn it sideways, and we're going to talk about what
Put
a
your hand
spinnerbait.
over it. Put your hand over it. There you go.
Yeah, we're going to talk about what a spinnerbait looks like in the water. This one in particular, this is Indiana, Colorado, and this is a very, very active,
That's a thumpy.
Yeah.
Thumper.
So
Thumpy
if I put
Thumperson.
a trailer on this,
Mayor of Thumpsville.
this trailer looks like it's chasing this blade. And one thing bass really don't like is other fish eating. They do not like the feeding reaction that does not involve them. If you go to a pond,
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's forage.
right, go to a pond where the water's clear and the bass and the bluegill are hanging out with each other. Throw a bait at a bluegill, watch that bluegill move and watch that bass move in unison with that bluegill and go, no, not until I look at it.
Yep.
But also watch the second you hook that bluegill, after the bass gives it permission to eat, it is going to go after that bluegill because now the bluegill is setting off a different set of pheromones. And that is, oh my God, I'm going to DIE. And that's when the bass generates its own.
Dude, you've watched me do it a lot. I will literally cast and I'll get a bluegill bite or a crappie bite. I'll get a panfish bite, a panfish
right after
bite,
that is a bass.
a panfish bite, and then a big bass will hammer it. I'm literally looking for those panfish bites because I know that after I get 2 or 3 of them, I'm going to get hammered by a bass.
You remember that?
By the way, manicure?
Who's manicuring?
No, you need to. Like that finger pointing is like, what is that? What did you have like?
Do you really want me to show you my finger, bro?
Not the middle one.
It's a hoof.
Yeah,
I
tell us like, good lord.
I know. I
go to that Asian ladies. What the heck? I wish people. I wish people would be able to see.
No, I put it through a table saw.
Holy crap! That is nightmarish. All right, my bad.
Yeah.
How do I get him out of the? Oh crap! Now I screwed this up. There we go. We're back.
Okay, we're back. So,
good lord.
I'll use the other one, which is crooked.
There is a way.
I mean, pick which one you want, buddy.
Yeah, the normal one, not
the normal one.
Yeah.
Which one is that?
Holy crap!
It's up for interpretation.
I didn't know the other one. Anyways,
one was cut off, one was put through a table saw.
So both were cut off.
No, one was cut off and then reattached, and one was put through a table saw lengthwise.
Oh,
all
right.
So,
all right.
Whatever, Armando. How dare you finger shame me?
I apologize. I didn't know you were handicapped. I would have not made fun of you if I knew you were physically impaired. I just thought you were lazy and didn't do.
You want to talk about derailing?
All right, take us back to. Take us back. Take us home, Josh, please.
Please.
So, if this is a good place to end,
it is.
If you can generate the feeding reaction and the opportunistic reaction of a bass, it doesn't matter what you're throwing and it doesn't matter what the time of year is. In regards to blade baits and big piles of school of bait fish, and what you said, Armando, where you said you're trying to get those bait fish to leave that school. That's what a blade bait does. The blade bait into the school of bass, going under the school of bass, and then violently coming up. That is going to disperse those fish. That is going to send a reflex, but you also have that bait that is doing the same exact thing as those bait fish. And if that bait can only go up and down, cross-eyed doctor, reattach that finger. Holy shit. Guys, just throw blade bait.
Oh man, you should send a free box to Michael Bradley just for that. Holy crap!
It actually started off looking a lot better than that. It just went that way over time.
When you were getting your skin, this one.
Go ahead, finish. Don't wuss out. Just finish.
When you were getting your skin grafted, did you look at the doctor and wink at him and say, "Hey, can you add an extra inch down there?"
You got your finger circumcised.
Listen,
holy crap!
Listen. All of my millwright buddies affectionately call that the dick finger.
Yeah, of course.
Hopefully, it's not because of the size, but anyway.
It's because of the curve. It's actually they look at
and you are gonna go fish in the sticks. You are gonna leave.
Brother.
Hey,
that's a good one, Michael.
Things happen.
Appreciate the comment. God, what were you talking about? So the fish dispersed.
No, we don't even care anymore.
Just throw a blade bait.
It's time to go home.
Throw a blade bait. It's time to
play the outdoors. Oh man, this one. Took a hard left.
Go buy a 7-foot medium spring rod, 2,500 size.
It's actually a hard right.
Oh, brother. All right. I think this is enough, right? What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think we're good.
We're good.
It can only go one direction from here.
Hopefully for those watching or those that listen on the podcast. By the way, I know you guys don't have a podcast, but this will be on an MP3 format on the Bass Kayak and Beers podcast.
God help you.
Our intellectual property.
Yeah. An intellectual is being loose. But
Yes. It's a what you've created is a snowball effect of poop.
I'll tell you this: you have the best audience in the world.
Who was the first person to say poop? Oh, good Lord.
God. All right, let's just end it. Yeah. Well, hopefully for those that watch you, either you were entertained, or informed. Hopefully both.
Hey, listen, you get entertained, you get offended, you think a little bit, and you get informed.
You learn new words.
You run the full spectrum of all the emotions.
We definitely educated, we definitely entertained, and we definitely informed. We got them all.
Definitely offended. But none of this has to do with fishing, though.
Yeah, it was virality. I was trying to say virality. That's what I was trying to say.
Nuh-uh.
Not virility.
All right, guys. We should do this more often.
Sure.
We'd love to do this more often.
Better try to figure out what to talk about every week.
Well, we thought we did, and
we definitely figured it out.
Yeah,
we fingered it out, didn't we?
We sure did.
All right, boys and girls, thank you so much for watching. Remember, you can follow us, Bass Kayak and Beers, Dark Horse Tackle. You can listen to the Bass Kayak and Beers podcast on any MP3 format, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, if you can. And if you want, you can leave a review and a 5-star review at that. Would be great.
We'll be giving interviews next weekend at the Columbus Fishing Expo.
Yeah, come see us. Come see us for real.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to plug. Yeah, guys, plug in.
Zach use a pen with that messed up hand.
Yeah. Hey, listen, that messed up hand writes all the notes and all your freaking orders. So just so you know.
That explains it.
You haven't seen my little notes, have you?
Whoa.
I'm a typewriter, bro. I'm a typewriter.
Yes, he'll destroy it and throw it away and restart if he messes up.
Rage quit.
Well, the finger actually throws it away.
Not again.
He gets upset.
Get back.
I don't even know how to end this.
Got a fight of his own.
You hit the button.
All right, good night, everyone.
We'll see you all later.
Good Lord.